And we are live. I think we're live. As always, if you're watching this live, please let me know if you can hear me and see me okay in the chat. And welcome to the first unboxing video of another week's worth of unboxing videos. I'm doing 4 this week, I think, as I slowly get through all of the new games that I've grabbed from Essen. This is Great Western Trail 2nd edition, the first in a trilogy. So it's Great Western Trail, which is a 2nd edition version of the original Great Western Trail. And then we have Argentina and Australia, I believe, coming in the next 2 years. Great Western Trail is a top 10 game for me. And I know I say I've probably got about 50 top 10 games, but this is honestly a top 10 game. Absolutely love Great Western Trail. I have taken the cellophane off this, and that's up. That's all I've done. All I've done is taken the cellophane off. Now, other channels have already covered the game, so I do know a little bit about it, but we're going to dive in and we're going to see. Mark misses the original cover. You are the only person. So, what have we got here? We've got a rule book. Now, I've always said, when people ask me what's my top rule books that I didn't write, the original Great Western Trail rulebook, for me, is a really good rulebook. So I'm curious to see what they've done here, to see if they've made any changes. It does look visually different, but I personally think the original Great Western Trail rulebook is pretty good. Is the editor of the rulebook in here? No. That's a shame. Right, what have we got here? Solo adventure. So one of the things included in this is a solo mode. Because Maracaibo had a solo mode and Great Western Trail needed a solo mode. So we now have a solo mode where we are playing against Sam. So I will definitely be giving that a go at some point, maybe sooner than you think. At some point later this week, I will be putting up a poll for my Patreon supporters on a solo game that I'm going to be playing next week. And this is going to be on the list for people to vote for. So if you're a Patreon supporter of mine at producer level or higher, you will get a chance to vote on which solo game I'm going to play next week. We have an appendix with all of the buildings. You're not interested in this, are you? You just want to see the dual layered player boards. I know. Right, before we get to that, we've got some punch boards. So I'm just going to punch these out. These have got a nice, it's a matte finish. Oh, these are popping out very, very cleanly. So yeah, printers have definitely improved over the years. Absolutely no little nubs on the side of them whatsoever. Good thickness, solid cardstock. And I think, am I right in thinking that the graphic design of these cards, these tiles is different? I should have got out my original one. Yeah, these look different. So they've updated these. I mean, it's still functionally the same information. I hope they haven't changed the iconography. It doesn't look like they have, because I thought the iconography was very, very clear in the original game. So yeah, it looks like that's the same. But it's artwork that's been updated. And yeah, these are punching out really cleanly. Okay, so we've got a few sheets of punch board. I assume they will all punch out cleanly. Yep. These are the same that you put over your player board. Right, okay, now it's time to have a look at the board. So, one of the problems with Great Western Trail as a game is that it was played so many times, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of times, that the game wasn't perfectly balanced. And it's only when you play it a lot that you realise this. So first of all, we have a little bit of, I don't know what that is, it's a little bit of string. How odd. Anyway, new artwork. Slightly different artwork for the game. The graphic design is almost identical, but we have a different art style here. I don't know which I prefer. I need to get out the old one and have a look. But other than that, it's pretty much exactly the same layout, exactly the same stuff. But I believe, and I don't know this in much detail, this area of the board has changed. It used to be negative costs and then gaining money. I think it's now just gaining money, and thematically it's changed. And I believe they've increased the power of this section, or is it this section? Because one of them just wasn't used. Yeah, change the colours of the people. Right, okay, yeah, there's that as well. These people have changed colours. So yeah, that's that. They've also made Kansas City, you only get 4 coins for going there and not 6. This has slightly changed graphically, but but seems to work exactly the same way. Right, okay, now we now have recessed player boards. Now, my original version of the game, I think I've got, oh no, it's Maracaibo that I've got the player inserts for. So yeah, so these, let's get this on the big camera. Okay, so we have, you can't really see it, but we have recessed player boards. So you will be gaining these people and you'll be slotting them in. It just makes it look nicer. It's absolutely not needed at all in any way, but it's just nice. So yeah, so I like that. We've got some player components. So this is the, is this the blue player board, or are all player boards the same? No, this is the red one. So you will be putting the discs, oh, I've got two discs stuck together here. There we go. So you'll be putting the discs in here. Now my test is, can you get these discs out? That's the question. And the answer is yes. Okay, so that was easy. I wanted to make sure they hadn't recessed them enough that you couldn't actually get the discs out. But no, there you go. So that's it. That's how it will be at the start of the game. And that shouldn't be in there. That should obviously be in there. And yeah, when you unlock them, you just take them out. So that's quite nice. And this was always a very good player board. It was always very clear as to what's going on. Now, if you're playing 4-player, you get the recessed board for these bits. If you're playing with 2 or 3 players, you need to put that over the top, which is a bit of a shame because now you've just put a disc on there and it's a bit, yeah, there's nothing really they could have done except, oh no, they could have done. They could have recessed that, made an extra one of these and put holes in this. That's what they could have done. Anyway, that's the player boards. Let's have a look at what else have we got. So we've got 4 player boards, which are quite nice. We've also got, I didn't know this, but the game comes with a nice insert. Now, is it an insert which I'm actually going to use? Because the problem I find with these inserts is they've spent ages designing them and ages creating them, but then when you fill all of these bits and it all looks nice and then you carry the game somewhere, turn it sideways and everything falls out. So hopefully everything will go in and the lid will go on and the board will cover this and it'll keep everything in place. We will find out. We've got another board here. So this is for, what is this for? Probably for the solo mode. That must be for the solo mode. Yeah. So we got bags. Original one didn't come with bags. We got 3 little bags for these tokens, which is quite nice. Because one of the deluxe add-ons you could get, I think, was bags. And then we have the cowboys with their little hats on. So biggest improvement in the game is cowboys with little coloured hats. Okay, so a lot of stuck pieces. There we go. Choose your cowboy. Stick a hat on them. Check that out. There you go. So we've got 4 different colours, and you choose whichever one you want, and then stick whichever hat on you want, if it'll go on. There you go. So yeah, cool cowboys with cool cowboy hats. We have the train. We have some cubes. Right, next is the cards, and again they have updated the graphic design of these cards. So my first question is Rails to the North. This doesn't seem to include Rails to the North. What does that mean for the game? Does that mean that this updated game no longer needs Rails to the North, or are they saying that Rails to the North is going to be a future expansion for this game? Let me know. Let me know what they've said. Or have they decided Rails to the North is just, that was for the first edition and they're not redoing it, and maybe Argentina and Australia will have some of the things in it? Paul is saying that he's been told it can be used to come in it. Okay, Rails to the North will come next year. Right. Okay, that's good. But if you've got the original Rails to the North, apparently you can use that. So artwork and graphic design has changed on these. Now, I quite liked the old ones. I didn't think there was anything wrong with the old ones. And looking at these now, I think I prefer the original ones. This is literally just looking at these for the first time without seeing the originals. I think I prefer the originals, but I'd have to see them side by side to compare them. There's nothing wrong with these. I think I just have no problem with the ones from the original game. So yeah, lots of cows. Isn't there a variant in this as well? I think there's some kind of cow variant in this. There's mini expansions in the box. Yes, there is. We're going to get to that. It was mentioned on the back of the rulebook, I think. Let's see if it's in the rulebook. Sorry, mentioned on the back of the box is what I meant. Variant. Cemental. The orange Cemental cattle cards are part of a new variant to play Great Western Trail. This cattle card comes with 3 stages: the Cemental calf, the Cemental heifer, and the Cemental cow. Okay, so there's an extra type of cow with an extra market tile. So there we go, some extra stuff. Right, what have we got here? Objective cards. I think these are objective cards. It's been so long since I've played. Is that objective? No, these are the objective cards. And these look pretty much the same. Yeah, these look the same graphic design. They've changed the artwork on them. This is probably the solo mode. Yeah, these cards are probably the solo mode. Let's get that out of the way. So yeah, objective cards, they look the same. I'm guessing these are the solo mode. This is the Cemental cow for the mini expansion. And these are probably just in here from before. So yeah, there we go. I will be getting my original copy of Great Western Trail, which actually is right here. There we go. I didn't realise it was right here. So we can actually do some comparisons. So for me, I'll tell you now, board artwork, I prefer this one. Definitely prefer the artwork from the original game. It is more defined. This looks less detailed. It's a different art style. That's all it is, a different art style. I prefer this one. The colours in this one are a little bit washed out, pastel-y, watercolour-y. So I prefer the art style on that one. Player boards. I think I prefer the original ones. But yeah, as Mark said, they have changed the colours. So engineers used to be purple. Now craftsmen are purple. Engineers are... Oh, why have they done that? Why have they done that? Okay, oh, and I see what they've done. They've made the default 4 players, whereas in the original, the default was 2 players. So that's a slight change. But no, I think I prefer the design of the old one. Let me have a look. I've got the sleeves for this. I can take the sleeves off. Don't need the sleeves anymore. Right, so cows. Let's have a look at the cows. So here are the Jersey cows from the original, and then the Dutch belt cows from the original. And let's have a look at the new ones and just give them a compare. So I guess it's not called Dutch belt cow anymore. I guess it's that one. And the Jersey cow is now called the Criollo. So I don't know why they've changed the names of them, but they have. So there you go. Comparison side by side of old versus new. Yeah, I think personally, I prefer the old style. Again, it is a purely subjective opinion based on artwork, graphic design, and everything else. I think I prefer the original ones. But as far as the game goes, as I mentioned, the game has had a number of tweaks made to it. So I will be definitely getting rid of my original version of Great Western Trail, and I will be definitely playing the new one from now on. I think some of the buildings have been tweaked. Some of the positions on the board have been tweaked. So yeah, definitely be playing the new one and not the old one, even if cosmetically, I think I quite like the look of the old one. Yeah, but there you go. I hope you found it useful. I wasn't sure what to expect from this new version, and please don't take my opinion on the artwork as, you know, fact. It's just that's my initial impression. And I don't think that is coloured by the fact that, you know, I'm a big fan of Great Western Trail. It doesn't mean that I'm not keen on the new artwork just because I'm a fan of the old game. I'm a fan of the game. Artwork irrespective. So I don't have any hold. The old version doesn't have any hold over me at all. I'm just looking at things side by side and telling you what I think about the artwork and the graphic design of it. But it's still very clear and it's still very functional. And I'm sure there will be people out there who didn't like this, and maybe this new version is more for them. But anyway, Great Western Trail, as I say, I may be doing a solo playthrough of this next week. The big question is, if you have the original game, is it worth getting the new one? And I can't answer that question. That is purely for you to decide. What I don't know right now is I don't know the extent of the changes. I've heard from some people the changes are very, very minor. And I've heard from other people that the changes actually have quite a big impact on the game. And I don't know if you're able to update your original version to this one. I mean, you could technically draw on this board. You could get some stickers and draw on this board, and you could change. I mean, the easiest change to make, if you really wanted to, and I think this is a change that everybody should make immediately anyway, is you reduce the number of coins that you get from visiting Kansas City to 4. That's an easy change. You could just put a sticker on there or something like that. Everything else, I'm not sure how easy it would be to change. This bit here is slightly different. So instead of it being -1, -2 and -3, and then 1, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, it's a token 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10. So yeah, if you really wanted to, you could go at this with a Sharpie and some stickers and you could update that. But I don't know if it's possible for the other things. As I say, I've heard that they've tweaked some other things on the board as well. A lot of it looks very, very similar. But I have, as I say, I've read in a couple of places that they have made a couple of tweaks. Anyway, will it be covered on the channel? I can guarantee you that Great Western Trail, this new version, will be covered on the channel at some point. There may be a solo playthrough next week, depending on the votes of Patreon supporters. Because assuming they haven't changed many rules, basically, it's going to be relatively easy for me to relearn the game and learn how the solo mode works, as opposed to some other new games that I've brought back home with me that I haven't got the faintest idea how to play the base game yet. Will the multiplayer be played? I am pretty sure the multiplayer will be played. Next time Agile John is passing the house, I'll get him to pop in. You want to know what the orange cow rules are? Right, let's cover them quickly just before we go. So the orange cow rules is a variant. I'll zoom in. I mean, you might be able to find the PDF online. So here's the variant for the orange cows. So during step 9 of the setup, you add the stage 1 orange cows into the cattle market, shuffle them and put them as a face down. You put the cemental market tile on the game board so it covers the corresponding area. And then you draw cards. So orange cards might come out. And when the orange cards do come out, you place them in this section instead. The stage 2 and stage 3 cards go by the side of the board. And when you perform the action buy cattle from the cattle market, you can basically buy the orange cows. So that's all it does, I think. They are a separate type of cow. They go there, but they change. So add the following step to the end of subphase 4. Right. If you have any stage 1 cows in your hand, you may remove them entirely from the game by returning them to the box and take the same number of stage 2 cows. And then if you have any stage 2 cows, you may remove them from your hand entirely and take the number of stage 3 cows. Right, so basically you start off with stage 1 cows and they grow and they get bigger, stage 2 and then stage 3, which are worth 3, 4 and 5 points. I think, something like that. Anyway, yeah, so that's how they work. Will the first or second edition being played at the World Series of Board Gaming that I covered last week on the channel? That is a very good question, John. I don't actually know the answer to that, but I would guess it would be the original version, because the new version I don't think has had a full worldwide release yet. It does seem odd that they will be playing the original version, since the new version by then will be out and established. But I think it'll be the original version that they are playing at the World Series of Board Gaming. But I don't know. If you are going to the World Series of Board Gaming and you are taking part in the Great Western Trail contest, then let me know. Yeah, let me know. Right, okay. Will it be part of the library at GridCon? What I'm doing, Rick, is I am including this cowboy in the library at GridCon and nothing else. The rest of the game is staying at home with me, and it'll just be this one single cowboy that I'm going to put in the library. If you want to book it out for 3 hours, you can. That's fine. No, it will be in the library at GridCon. Yes, Great Western Trail 2nd edition will be in the library at GridCon. So if you are coming to GridCon in a couple of weeks' time, you can play it. We are all done. Thank you very much for watching. I will be back tomorrow with some more unboxings. I do have some playthrough videos planned as well, but as I say, I'm doing a lot of unboxing videos at the moment because I've got all of these new games that I've come back from Essen with and other ones that I've been sent outside of that, and I just want to get them all covered on the channel quickly. So yeah. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much to all of my Patreon supporters for funding the channel. If you like these unboxing videos, or in fact any other videos that I create and you want to support the channel, please consider supporting me at patreon.com/gamingrules, as I do rely on the financial support of that in order to keep the channel going. Thanks very much, everybody. Take care, and I'll see you soon.